Hey there, welcome to the Summit Host Hangout podcast where you'll learn how to plan, strategize, and launch your profitable online summit. No influencer status necessary. I'm your host, Krista from Summit in a Box, and we are currently in a long series about your summit speakers. Today in episode 21, we're breaking that down to chat about how to keep your speakers happy and engaged. And here's the thing, the more happy and engaged your speakers are, the better results you're going to see all around. Happy speakers are more likely to get their content to you on time, and they are a whole lot more likely to spread the word about your event. So today we're going to cover my top 5 tips for keeping speakers happy and engaged. Before we get into that, I want you to know that giving yourself the right amount of time to plan and launch your summit is vital to creating a successful event and one that gives your speakers that positive experience rather than one that feels rushed and looks thrown together. And as you've probably realized, timing is everything. So with my free virtual summit prep timeline, you can see the exact amount of time I recommend setting aside for a summit, my top tips, a look at the big picture tasks, and even a timeline calculator to make sure you plan everything right the first time. So get the virtual summit prep timeline by going to summithosthangout.com/timeline. Let's dive into this first tip for keeping your speakers happy and engaged, and that is to help them understand your cause. And this is the most powerful way to keep your speakers happy and engaged. When you reach out to potential speakers, explain why you are hosting your specific summit and what kind of impact you want to make. Then highlight the part they'll play in making that happen. Let them know that they are part of the difference you'll make for your attendees. And this is going to get them even more excited to be a part of it than they would be otherwise. And then in addition to your pitch, you want to be helping them understand their part in it, as well as the summit's cause throughout the prep period, throughout the promotion period, and throughout the summit. So celebrate wins with them, remind them the part they're playing, thank them. It's a nice, easy thing to do, but when they understand your cause and they're behind it, it is going to keep them so much more happy and excited to be a part of your event. Next, you want to keep your speakers updated throughout the entire event, including the promotion period. And this is something really simple that so many summit hosts do not do. So let them know how sales are going, how many signups you're getting, the reactions attendees are having. Give them behind the scenes looks at your summit because that's going to help them feel valued and not just like you use them for a presentation. I personally like to do a weekly update in my speaker Facebook group every Friday that just shares the exact numbers, things I think we can improve on, things that are going well, and even some fun quotes or testimonials from attendees who are really excited to just help the speakers see that this is a real thing that's actually going well. Doing this just helps make speakers know that they are an important part of the event and not just, like I said, someone being used to get those extra signups. Next, you want to give your speakers absolutely everything they'll need to do their job well. This is going to keep them happy and prevent them from getting overwhelmed. So this includes things like graphics for promoting, social media swipe copy, email swipe copy, a to-do list with due dates, when you'll need certain things and when you suggest they, for example, start their presentation. You can include slide templates for them. You can include workbook templates for them. Providing these resources and presenting them in a way that makes them really easy to use will cut down on the overwhelm your speakers feel once they start preparing for the summit. Because it is actually a lot of work to create a good presentation, record that presentation, edit it, and then schedule a whole bunch of promotion. I know when you're hosting a summit, the speaker's job seems really, really easy compared to yours, but it is a lot of work for someone to do, especially for free. So the easier you can make it, the better. Another way to keep your speakers happy is to feature them throughout the summit. Your speakers are a great way to increase how many people you reach, but they should be able to benefit from that audience as well. And this is something, again, so many people miss. They never feature their speakers. So to show off your speakers, feature them on your website. I like to feature my speakers on the registration page and a separate speaker page where I include their headshot, their bio, and links to their website. You can also feature them on your social media platforms. So for example, you could talk about one speaker per day on Instagram along with some information about them and encourage your followers to check them out. It's just a way to give them some extra support and visibility. You can also allow speakers to go live in your attendee Facebook group to introduce themselves and make connections. This is so nice for them to be able to do. I wouldn't make it mandatory because some people won't want to, but some people will really see the value in being able to make those personal introductions with your attendees. So featuring your speakers will help them feel like they're benefiting from being a part of your summit, and it's just a great opportunity for them to get new leads, which is going to make them a whole lot more happy and engaged throughout the entire event. And last and most importantly, make sure your speakers are actually getting something in return for their presentation. So make sure they benefit. You reach out to your speakers expecting them to share with their audience. You expect them to deliver this value-packed presentation without a heavy pitch at the end. And for that to make sense for them to do, you need to make sure that they benefit in some way. Otherwise, it's literally wasted time and effort. The easiest way for you to do this is to make sure that you're reaching out to speakers who can benefit from your specific summit's audience. And we talked about that more in episode 19, but choose speakers who have a similar niche so they can get in front of people who might actually buy from them. Other ways your speakers can benefit through your summit will depend on their experience. So you don't necessarily have to pay speakers, but influencers might actually expect it. If you reach out and pitch somebody without offering a payment, make sure you have a plan of what you'll do if they do request it. Many speakers will be happy to take a part of your summit in return for affiliate commissions, maybe part of an email list and a way to get their name out there. But more experienced speakers might want and deserve a payment. So just be prepared for that. It's totally fine if you just say no, then they're not a good fit at this time, but have an answer prepared in case that does happen. For my past summits, I've given my speakers anywhere from 40 to 60% affiliate commissions. If you want to learn more about working with affiliates for your summit, take a look at Zoe Linda's free affiliate program checklist, which I'll link in the show notes. She was also on the podcast in episode 12, so you can check that out as well. But she talks a lot about managing your affiliates well, giving them a good experience, which of course helps the speakers who are affiliates. Another way I like to benefit my speakers is to give them the email list of anyone who signs up for the worksheet for their specific presentation. And I also make sure that the summit is hosted in a specific niche that will benefit their business. So for each presentation I make, I ask the speakers to create a worksheet that follows along with it. If they can't do that and they would say no because of it, I will make the worksheet for them. But this lets me put a link in my emails with their presentation, and on their presentation page, people can opt in to download that worksheet, and then that someone I know is interested in hearing from that speaker, and I can send the speakers those specific people rather than sending them the entire email list, and then all of the attendees are getting bombarded after the summit with 25 new people sending them emails. But all in all, the more your summit benefits each speaker, the more likely you are to get a yes from that person and keep them happy throughout the process. So your speakers are a huge part of your summit and have a big part to play in the level of success you are going to see. But remember, it's not all about you and your success. It's about the success of your speakers and your attendees as well. And the more happy and engaged your speakers are, the better return they'll see and the better experience your audience will have as a result. So your action step for today is just to decide how you're going to go above and beyond to keep your speakers happy. Maybe consider what resources you're going to create for them, how you're going to show them off on your website or throughout the event, and how they'll benefit from participating. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. For show notes and resources, head to summitHostHangout.com/021. In the next episode, I'm bringing on a guest that I'm super excited to be chatting with, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Giving yourself the right amount of time to plan and launch your summit is vital to creating a successful event rather than one that gets thrown together. And it's also important for your speakers' experiences. And as you probably realized with today's episode, timing is everything. With my free virtual summit prep timeline, you can see the amount of time I recommend setting aside for a summit, my top tips, a look at the big picture tasks, and even a timeline calculator to make sure you plan everything right the first time. So get the virtual summit prep timeline by going to summitHostHangout.com/timeline. Now go out, take action to plan, strategize, and launch your profitable online